Welcome back to another episode of Maul Paints. Kind of an interesting thing going for you today. Had kind of a request from Lacrimosa to do kind of a couple seasonal paints, kind of a deep woods type thing. I think what we're going to start doing today is this is going to be more of the winter scene. So we've already done, as you see, it's a much thinner canvas, but what I'm going to do here is just kind of make a deep forest scene by kind of rubbing vertical lines of titanium white right into. I've already got the whole canvas here covered with a thick coat of magenta, but I'm just gonna use whatever color. Excuse me. I think it's actually. Hang on a second. It's actually violet. That's what I got. I'm not gonna lose my legs over it though. So that's funny. I said that's funny. So we'll get right into this. We'll start by trimming our light source, just kind of rubbing straight little white patches into the painting, make it look kind of like a, just whatever, like a deep woods type thing. Whatever it is. You'll see right now it's going to look kind of weird, but we'll see as we get going. It's going to look pretty cool. So all you're doing is just basically rubbing straight lines, kind of vertical. It's kind of making it look like the indication of light coming in through a forest. Kind of bring this down pretty good ways. Darker off to the side, something like that. Now I kind of want the lightest area to be maybe kind of right here, so make that a little bit more white, make it look like that's the actual bright spot coming in. Maybe a little bit like that, maybe a little bit over here, who knows. Alright, we got our spot going here, so take a step back and look. Maybe just a touch like that. Now, it's going to kind of blend this straight upward, just to kind of give it the indication that there's no more brush strokes, and that it looks kind of like you're deep in a forest. And it's going to look, once it's all done, like these are little trees coming straight down where the dark patches are, and then just gently going to the side. I want this brush to be nice and dry for when I do this, so we're going to clean this with odorless thinner, and we're going to beat the sith out of it. It's my favorite part. Okay, so now what I want to do here is actually make kind of like a thick line of snow kind of coming on the bottom here. So I'm just gonna slightly go back and forth, make it look like fresh snow. Grass isn't showing through or anything, so maybe something like that. Maybe we'll make a little bit lighter right here where the light's coming through. Give it the indication of some lighter snow, and then we'll kind of fade it out. Make it look like there's not as much light coming through. There we go. Now, so what I want to kind of do here is just kind of play just a little bit, kind of give it the indication that there's maybe some paths going back towards the trees, which you'll see in a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to kind of move it into these dark areas. Just give the indication of some depth. Take a step back. All right. Kind of liking this one so far. I said this was a request. It's gonna be about a one. There's gonna be about 4 seasons. I'm gonna do about 4 different videos. This will be the first season. I figured I'd start with winter because, well, it's winter, as you can see. So, all right, we'll come back to this. But now what I want to do, since it's gonna be dark, I want to make. Actually, we'll clean off the fan brush. Clean it off. It's not as fun to clean the fan brush, but we'll get back to cleaning. So here we go. What I want to do is I'm going to take some lamp black, and what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to get that full of paint, and I'm just going to make the indication of some real thick tree trunks coming straight down. So he's going to find an area. I'm going to start maybe with, let's just start maybe right about here. An indication of some real thick trees coming down. And there's one. There's going to be another one. Maybe this one comes down just a little bit behind that one. While you're doing this, the further down you come, it's going to make it seem like it's closer to you. So, maybe we'll have one here that just comes right off. Doesn't even have a base. Can't even see it all the way. Which makes it easier for me because then I don't actually have to make a base for it. So, maybe we'll make just a couple trees here. Maybe one there. Maybe there's one here. And now the less paint I've got on the brush, I can actually kind of make it look like there's some trees way in the background. Just little indications. Maybe there's a couple evergreens way in the background that you really can't. We'll just maybe this one will kind of lightly. Just going back and forth with the corner of the fan brush. There's not really going to be much detail in this or anything. So, in fact, it's going to look like it probably just fades right off into the background. Maybe we'll make a couple of them over here on the side. Just kind of back and forth here. Real simple, not a lot of detail. In fact, a lot of this painting isn't going to have a ton of detail because, like I said, you're far back in the woods and you're not really going to be able to make out much, but we'll get to highlights later and it's going to look pretty cool. So, maybe this tree here is actually a kind of a deep, pretty big evergreen way back there. Something like that. Then we'll just kind of bring one down right over top of it. Maybe that's what that tree is. So, maybe we'll have another one. We got one way back there, so we'll just kind of make it look like tiny. So it's just kind of look like there's one. I said a lot of this is just going to be just using your imagination of where you think these trees might be. All I'm doing is just tapping to kind of give the tree a little bit of width to it, kind of look like it's actually a tree. Because if we just kind of do like, it's going to look all right, but actually, that doesn't look half bad, but you know what, I'm going to do this anyway. So, give it a couple more here. Maybe we'll bring a couple of these guys real close together. This one maybe kind of comes down at an angle and kind of grows back that way. Yeah, let's see. I don't want to cover up too much, but whatever, why not? Maybe there's another evergreen way back in the corner over there. Don't tell anybody about this tree. Let us be our little secret. And you know what? Maybe we'll do another evergreen right over there, way back in the corner. Nobody even knows that he's there. Now, what I've done here is when I take this, see how like this white kind of turned in with that violet and kind of moved it up, make it look like those little paths. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take, maybe just kind of tap the brush a little sideways. I'm going to make the indication of maybe some trees way back there, maybe even like bushes. We don't know. All right. I kind of like this open area, but we'll do one tree right here. Comes way off the front. See, kind of like, you know, the master and apprentice here, two of the same. Okay, enough. Anyway, so okay, I'm thinking this is actually pretty good. Maybe I'll throw a couple more evergreens in here. Way back where maybe there's one here too. I kind of want to fill up these little spots. I love making these evergreens. I think they're really fun, especially when they just have this dark mysteriousness to them that you can't really tell where they are because there are no pieces of them left, as they are intact, as they are whole. And we'll do maybe one there. Why not? Okay, so I think we're good with the trees. Now what I want to do is kind of bring these down to where I want them on the painting here. So, welcome back. Sorry, we had a minor delay, but I want to get right back into this. What I want to do is I'm just going to kind of clean up these evergreens just a little bit. Maybe add a little bit more to them. Maybe just something like that. Now, after I left off here, or before I left off, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up, because the light's going to be coming right from the front and the middle here. From the front, right from the middle here. So I want to kind of make the lighting on the trees, you know, kind of going on this side out, and then this side. You'll see. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do, so I'm going to mix up. I'm going to try to mix up here, I'm going to make the same color, only I'm going to make it one side just a little lighter and the other side a little darker. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix maybe a little phthalo blue and just a touch of the alizarin crimson. It's still going to give it that purple color, but I think it's going to be a little bit darker. And what we'll do is I'm going to have a dark color here, and then I'm going to have a lighter color for I'm just going to take some titanium white and mix that. So it's going to be the exact same color. One's going to be lighter and one's going to be darker. So maybe I'll start with just the light. And I figure these two, at least this one for sure, is going to be like you're standing right behind it, so it's really not going to have much light on it. So maybe these two are going to be just dark. So what I want to do, lay that out flat, grab just a roll of paint, and what I'm going to do is just kind of get on the other side of the camera here, just kind of bringing this up. Kind of makes it look like, I guess I could just stay over here and do it. It's going to have a lighter side here to make it look like the light's going to be hitting that side. So we'll do that to all the trees on their left side, on the right side of the painting. And on the left side, on the right side of the painting. You'll see. Maybe we'll lighten that up just a little bit. There we go. That's better. Alright, so now we'll keep, maybe that's going to be, we're just kind of touching the side of the tree and working our way up. Kind of give it that light look to it. Maybe the further we go out here, it's not going to be as much light. So maybe it's only hitting the bottom of the tree trunk. Maybe something like that. Maybe this one just a little touch. Now this side, I'm going to do the same thing, but it's going to be on the right side of the trunk. So that was a big chunk of paint. Let me just kind of break off a little roll there. Maybe this one's just got, we'll be fine. Let's see, what trees do I got here? So this side, just going to kind of be going up just like that. Same thing with this one. The same thing with this one here. Let's see. You know, maybe this one's getting hit by just a touch. I don't want to leave it. Just a touch. Okay. Now what I want to do is use that darker color. Now we're going to make a shadow side. So this one here is going to pretty much, the whole thing is going to be shadow. Because the light's coming from behind it, so you're not going to be able to see. So this one, we're just kind of touching and just pull just gently over just to show the other side of those tree trunks. Reload the knife as much as you want. Okay, this one. Maybe something like that. This one's going to be pretty dark. Take a step back. All right. That one's pretty good. And this one way back here is not even, I forgot it was even there. Okay. And then we'll hit this side and then we'll finish up the ground, and that'll pretty much be a full painting. So this one, shadow there. Maybe we'll do a little bit more blue there. Maybe something like that. Now, I think what I want to do is I gotta finish up the bottom of these trunks, obviously. So, got my clean off the knife here. Okay, so now what I want to do is to kind of bring out these tree trunks, make them look like actual tree trunks. Up with that black color I'd had, just straight lamp black. Maybe this one kind of comes out, it has a trunk. Comes out a little ways. Same with these here. Maybe this one kind of comes out a little bit like that. Maybe this one comes down like that. We don't know. You know, this is whatever it is, really. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to reload the titanium white on here. You know, while that's sitting there, I think I'm just going to use another fan brush. I just want to go right back into this titanium white. Kind of cover up this a little bit. A little more white here. Kind of make it look like their trunks are kind of hidden by some snow. And since the light's coming here right from the middle, maybe it's going to have a little bit of shadow in the snow, making it look like it's a little bit darker. So, and same thing with this side, kind of come down, maybe a little bit like that. And we'll just add a little white, cover up those trunks a little bit. Something like that. There we go. I want to put a little more white on that. I didn't like how that turned turned out. Now, one last thing I want to do before I'm done with this is I kind of want to just make it seem like little indications, maybe some snow way in the background there, just to give it even a little bit more depth. Just gently lift up. And just something that simple puts a little bit of depth, a little more depth in your painting, just by doing that little lift there. And we'll do maybe one there, one there. I don't know, I think we're just about good for this one. This is our first of 4 little snow scenes, and I hope you liked it. As always, let the hate flow through you, and I'll see you next time.